Hi guys, Drew from Total Calibration. If you're like me and you spend a lot of time working in Microsoft Word in creating proposals and other heavily formatted documents, and in particular documents that use headers and footers, you'll be very interested to hear about this particular advancement. So just recently, and we're talking late March 2024, Microsoft has upgraded the browser version of Word so that you can actually view the headers and footers, and just the general formatting is a lot better. So I'll give you an example here on my screen. So I have this proposal document, which I will just open directly up in Microsoft Word first, so you can see what it should look like. As you can see, it's a little bit clunky. It takes a bit of time to open a document in the desktop version, which is why I'm interested in this. So you can see here we've got this image on the front page within the header. Then we have headers and footers on all pages, page numbers and information about the document, so on and so forth. And you can see here that it is a highly formatted document. It has a lot of images and things like that in it. So obviously, if we want to share that document, this is probably the biggest use case for it, is when it gets to the point where it is good enough to be able to share that document via a link in Word format, and customers can actually make comments and markups and things like that. I've never been confident doing that because the formatting just doesn't look right, and I want to try to give them the option of actually adding comments rather than having to painstakingly do it through a PDF or something like that. So let's close this out and now have a look at what it looks like in what it used to look like. So depending on your environment. So this here is, I've got this document open. Now, what you'll first notice is you can't see the image and you can't see the header or footer. You can see here there's a little label to tell you it's there, and if you click on it, it will open it up. But you lose some of the context, and if you're sharing this document with someone externally, it looks pretty naff. The other thing to note is look at this. Look at these random these numbers are not lined up like they should. You can, and you have always been able to view the header or footer, or at least in recent times, by clicking that button or clicking up here, but it's just not quite the same. So you can see some formatting improvements in that. But if we go down further, you can just see all these things. See, I've lost my numbering, so that should be 1.0. All of these things, they don't paginate the same way. It looks totally different. I would never share it with somebody like this. Now let's have a look at it in an upgraded environment. So let's open this one here and just compare those few things. So like I said, we can see the header images without having to expand. They're just there. We can see that this formats beautifully. It looks just as it should. And what I also wanted to highlight, if we go down to, this is still the same, so this should be 1.0, 1.1, but you can still tell that it does look sharper and a little bit better. Now, I'm not saying I'm ready to share these documents with potential customers yet, but what I'm saying, it is getting close, and I do prefer opening a document in the browser most of the time if I can get away with it, because it's just faster. So if you do work in documents a lot like me, this will be a positive step forward for you, and I encourage you to check it out. Now, if you don't know how to do this, you might have noticed when you have a SharePoint document library, the administrator will set up what the default behavior is. So when you click on that, it's either configured to open in the desktop application or open up in the browser. So you can change that, but then you can also override that as well by actually selecting here, I want to open it in the app versus the browser. So another little tip for you if you didn't know that. All right, thanks. Have a great day.